All right, welcome back everyone to AED Live. We are back yet again down here in Orlando, and the sun has finally decided to come out, and it is significantly brighter than it has been the whole time we've been here so far. So that's kind of nice. And today we're sitting here with Mark from Teleo. How are you, sir?
I'm spectacular. Fantastic. Thank you.
Good.
Glad to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
And help me remember, it's your first time at the show?
First time at the show. It's an amazing event. It's a great way to rub elbows and meet people. It's a pretty amazing event.
It is. It's a great event. A lot of opportunity here, and as Mark said, to rub elbows with a lot of different people in the industry, with things that will come alongside what you're already doing and kind of supplement you there. Mark, give us a little bit of background on you and what does Teleo do?
Okay. Well, I'm 20 plus years in the construction technology space. I've been selling, supporting, and installing grade control and survey instruments. I've followed the evolution of, from lasers to 2D grade control all the way up to survey equipment, machine control, and UAVs. Now I'm in the world of supervised autonomy. And Teleo is a 5-year-old company. We just celebrated our 5th birthday. And we provide a brand agnostic solution that retrofits contractors' existing equipment and turns it into a robot.
Interesting. So there's no overhaul of the machine that needs to happen. I don't have to go out and purchase something specifically for this. You could take my existing machine and turn it into an autonomous piece of equipment.
Supervised autonomous piece of equipment, absolutely. And the operator has the ability use that term loosely, but the operator has the ability to run multiple machines simultaneously from the comfort of an office environment.
Interesting. So when you say supervised autonomy, you're babysitting for the most part? How does that work?
Right. So the operator performs, supervising the complex task. So for a wheeled loader, the operator performs the picking up of material at an asphalt plant or a concrete plant and the dumping of material. But the tramming in between is done with autonomy.
Interesting. So you kind of only need to do the part of the task that's a little more complicated and then just let it run on autopilot until it gets to its destination before you're needed again.
Exactly. So for an ADT or a rigid frame truck, you wiggle up to, the excavator loading tool, whether it's a loader or the excavator. You could essentially load your own truck and send the truck to its destination after it's done. And when it gets to that destination, dump that material and send it back.
So what kind of applications or customers would be leaning into your guys' technology?
That's a great question. Everybody assumes trucks. And that's the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people. But our dealers, our customers pulled us into varying different industries. So right now, we're pulp and paper mills, forestry, logging industry, in logging yards. We're in concrete plants, asphalt plants, and yes, quarries and mine sites and all the other fun things that go along with the autonomous idea, but we're getting into wherever, frankly, we can move any piece of machinery that moves material on the ground autonomously.
So there's no limit.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, a hydraulic machine would be nice.
Yeah.
Correct.
Let's not have a horse and buggy, but that'll be kind of difficult.
Boy, I feel like the scraper fleets you see flying around would be a perfect application for something like this because the operator really only needs to load and unload that bowl. And then there's a whole lot of bouncy drive time that everyone in the industry hates going on in between.
Yeah, so scraper fleets would have to have some sort of grade control to do multiple, so if you're doing a push-pull, you got to manage the pull on multiple scrapers. But yeah, essentially, we could absolutely do scrapers, trucks, excavators, rock breakers. I think of that job.
Yeah.
Sitting in a rock breaker after a blast, and it's
Yeah.
That's not a fun job.
Yes.
In fact, none of it's for a lot of this next generation, a lot of it's not fun.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do and what we are doing very successfully is making the lives of operators more comfortable in an office-like environment. Could be a Connex box or it could be an office, but making them more comfortable and attracting people into the industry.
Yeah.
So they'd be running more than one machine potentially at a time.
Right. Yeah, we've got customers that have, in the very near future, we will have a contractor operator sitting in a chair beside another chair, and one person will have the excavator loading his truck, and the person beside him will have the packer and or placing tool managing the trucks that are coming in between, whether it's 6 or 8 or 10, 2 folks can do that task.
Yeah. So you're almost multiplying your workforce as a contractor.
As a contractor, you're doing more with what is limited right now. They're all struggling. Everybody's struggling to find people. And we just launched the Wounded Veteran Program. So 2 wounded veterans are running a crushing operation. So we're attracting the people that never thought they could be an operator or climb on a machine, work in an office, and have that opportunity to contribute.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
That's awesome.
Right?
So what does it look like to get this installed on one of the machines? Is there a process? Is it difficult?
The hardware kit that goes on the roof or wherever we decide to put it is identical, whether it goes on a loader, a dozer, a truck, or skid steer. The wiring harnesses, there's a lot of commonality between the harnesses, but varying OEM to OEM, depending on the make and model of machine, we may have to add some hydraulics for steering, or we may have to add a frame angle sensor for our articulation so we know in what orientation that machine is in. But once we've done a machine, we have the ability to just keep repeating, right? It's a fairly simple once the engineering work is done, right?
So now going from we've implemented it on the machine, as a dealer, if I'm interested in representing this, is training on me and someone specialized in my organization to go out and get the operators comfortable in the workstation and how to transfer between equipment? How does the training aspect work?
I mean, as a dealer, there's a number of things. So it's not just the machine system. We have networks that we have to set up, so communications between machines and operator, depending on where that operator is. So there's training on that. There's an understanding of that process as well, along with training the operator. If they're green and they've never ran a machine, we kind of recommend that you get into the machine and actually know what that feels like for a bit.
Yeah.
Because you know what you don't want to do for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
Right? And then you really appreciate, I've lost my leg. And you really appreciate the comfort of the office.
Yeah. Yeah. So once you get them all trained up,
Yeah.
what kind of safeties are built into this equipment? We're talking about massive house-sized pieces of equipment moving around semi-autonomously.
Yeah.
What's built in for safeties?
So we've got human detection, obstacle detection. Our camera vision system is unbelievable. We absolutely, I mean, it's hard for me to talk about it over a podcast, but I have a video. One of our employees, Nate, he runs our training center and our test site. He put his hand up graciously to take this video and walk behind an autonomous loader as it's driving backwards. And we stop 15, 20 feet before anything happens, which is awesome. But what we didn't realize is when we looked at the video footage from our Insight software, so we've got a whole other part of this solution that allows operations to see productivity and fuel and savings and cycle times and tonnage moved, all of that.
Kind of all the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you can watch either in real time or historical data So when we watch that video that we shot from our Insight, if you were sitting in that cab of that loader, you wouldn't have seen Nate because the sun was setting behind Nate, and an operator would have been blinded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there could have been. I mean, our AI, our cameras saw Nate behind that, through that sun, which is pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Putting it to the test.
But we put it to the test unknowingly.
Yeah.
So where does this technology really excel at, in your opinion?
Man, I mean, you've got a task where the mundane task of going from point A to point B, as I said, a logging yard, you pick up a bundle of logs, you got a tram for 1,000 feet. That tram part is done autonomously. So the varying industries, but where we can remove the mundane abuse that the body takes, frankly, no matter how much air ride suspension the machines have, but wherever we can allow the operator to leave that complex task, or sorry, the mundane task of driving from point A to point B, that's where it shines.
Yeah.
Right?
So
industry, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Industry-wise, it varies. Trucks are obviously, ADTs, the rigid frames, that's an easy win. But our dealers and our customers have brought us into other markets that has been eye-opening for all of us to say, there's a win there for our customers.
Gravel pits, outside of the big mines, I would think gravel pits is a great application because you're just, 80% of the day is just carting material from a screener or a crusher over to a stockpile. And then occasionally you come over and you load some trucks and then you're carting more material around. I go, boy, if you could have two guys running 5 or 6 different loaders around that job site, again, you're multiplying your workforce.
Yeah.
You've got the safety aspects because of the AI doing the watching for you. And now a guy's not wasting half of his life just driving from point A to point B to go dump 6 yards of stone somewhere.
I could take it one step further. The operator of the crushing plant could load his own plant.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, wow.
And that's really what this technology is doing, is it's making us as people in the industry really start to think outside the box of anything we're used to.
Yeah.
You're not beating up on the operator no more either.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So where do you see this technology going?
Yeah, what does the future look like?
What is this? What?
It's really exciting.
SpaceX?
The future is very bright. I will say that. ConExpo, there's going to be some really fun things that we're going to be announcing, potentially even as early as Valma. I mean, you think of large language models like ChatGPT and what they're doing with small robots, humanoid robots.
Yeah.
What we can do with big robots is almost identical. So it's going to be extremely exciting in that world of AI, autonomy. I mean, the fact that we can record a path, right? So you think of autonomy and most people only think it's for mining only because that's a set route.
Yep.
Construction routes change. So our operators sit comfortably in an office. They can re-record a new route as the excavator is moving through the cut, replay that route, and now every single truck drives the exact same way as that one truck recorded. The opportunities are endless, frankly, and wear and tear, fuel, maintenance. I drive very differently than you drive, I'm sure. I'm a little aggressive. Maybe you are too. But everybody drives an ADT or a loader very differently.
Yeah.
If we can have some consistency, we can have a lot less downtime, a lot less abuse, and less maintenance and wear and tear on the machine.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Mark, thank you so much for the time, the interview. This is fascinating stuff.
My pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned. We are going to be back with FAE here shortly. We will see you guys then.